Hey everyone, it's Katie and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be another story time. And do I have a story for you? Yes, I do. This happened last September, so September 2017. This is my first semester as a transfer student at the school I go to currently. And yeah, this is definitely a story. This is a story, well, you know by the title, but it's a story of the time I got stuck in an elevator. Yeah, this was quite a story, and yeah, it happened a while ago. I've been meaning to make this story time forever. I'm not a story timer, but I do like telling stories, and I have a playlist full of story times up on my channel because sometimes weird things do happen to me. Sometimes things happen to me, and I love telling stories. I'm a storyteller, honestly. Like, I love telling stories, even if it's just to a friend with no camera in front of me. Like, I love telling a good old story. So yeah, I did get stuck in an elevator September something 2017 as my first semester as a transfer student. It was crazy, and yeah, that did happen. So yeah, let's just get right into the story time because I know you're probably dying to find out all the juicy details, and I'm excited to tell you it. Okay, so like I said, it was my first semester as a transfer. I transferred to the school because I did go to a community college, and so I transferred in as a junior and everything. This isn't like my transfer experience video, so I don't really need to go into those details, but you know, just trying to set the scene. So September, it was like one of the hottest days in summer because I believe it wasn't quite fall yet. Even if it was fall, like usually it's still summer weather until like you're in mid-October, at least in New York, that's how it is. And yeah, so it's like one of the hottest days, and actually in my college town, what ended up happening is that the power went out in the city of my college town, so everywhere lost power at this moment. So I was just minding my own business. I had a class at like 9:05 or 9:10 in the morning. I think it was 9:10, and then after I would get like breakfast with friends, and then I would come back to my room and stuff because on Mondays, I believe this was on a Monday or a Friday. I think it was on a Monday because I remember telling my friends in my Wednesday classes that this happened to me, and they were like, oh my god. And yeah, so this was on a Monday, so I only had one class. I had one class on Mondays and Fridays that first semester. So I remember going back to my building and hitting the elevator button. There was actually a guy that was also waiting for the elevator, and I remember two elevator doors actually opened at the same time. We ended up going the same elevator because might as well. And I lived on the 6th floor, so I would always take the elevator up because I was not about to walk up 6 flights of stairs. No thank you. So we wait for the elevator, the doors open, and we both go in the same elevator, of course, because you know, like, makes most sense. So we go into the elevator. He pressed 6 or I pressed 6 or something like that, and we realized we're both going to the same floor and everything. So yeah, okay. It's kind of like one of those things where you just stand there awkwardly in the elevator and kind of just, you know, mind your own business, look at your phone, do whatever and stuff. So you kind of just do your own thing and stuff. And at the time, my first roommate was the one that was my roommate at the time. So when I moved in, I didn't have a roommate, and then I got like a freshman roommate halfway through, but she ended up moving out, and then my new roommate, who was also a transfer, moved in. That was like, she moved in I think in November, and then my other roommate moved in like 2 weeks into school. So like sometime in September and everything, which that doesn't really play into the story. It kind of does, kind of doesn't. So we get in the elevator and everything, and you know, just, you know, you're chilling in the elevator, just waiting to get to your floor. We have to wait for it to go up 6 floors, so it beeps. It's like beep, 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 beeps for every level. And it's not like a typical beep, it's like a random beep. It's kind of like a chime and a beep kind of combined. I don't know how to explain it, but I think it only went up once because I remember going beep, and then it was like, I don't know how to describe that sound, but it was like, and then I remember the elevator just turning off, whoosh, and like everything got dark, and I was like, what is going on? And the guy in the elevator with me, and it was like, I don't know. And I'm like, what do we do? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, but you're supposed to say something in this moment. I'm like freaking out inside my head. I'm trying to keep it cool. I'm trying to be like the cool cucumber person I am, but like inside of my head, I'm freaking out. My anxiety is going high, like skyrocketing, and I'm just like freaking out here. So I had my phone in my hand, so I shine my flashlight near where the buttons are, so where you hit your floor button, and so he finds the call button, so he hits it, and then like campus police answers, and at first they're like, hello, we can't hear you, and it's like, seriously, I'm gonna be stuck in here forever. Like, I literally had that thought in my mind. I was like, no, I can't be in here forever. And then they finally like were able to hear him because he was the one that did all the talking. thank you elevator dude that I randomly met. And he's like, yeah, we're stuck in an elevator, and they're like, okay, we're gonna send somebody. And we're just like, okay. It actually didn't take them that long to like send somebody. Like there was somebody there within like maybe 5 minutes and stuff, and it was the weirdest friggin' thing. And like it was funny when he was talking to the guy, they're like, is everyone okay in there? And we're like, yeah, we're fine. And I don't know if they asked like what building we were at, but at one point I remember we both said the same thing at the same time. We were just like, yes, or something. I don't know, whatever we said at the same time. I was like freaking out. And then like literally while we wait for this dude to like come and get us and everything to save us from this elevator, this guy just sits down literally on the elevator floor with his laptop in his lap and just was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch like a show or listen to music. And we're just standing in this dark elevator. Like this is like standing in the closet where it's super dark. Like it was literally pitch black in that elevator. No light, no nothing. Like you were just sitting in this pitch black elevator. I'm just standing there awkwardly like, I'm not gonna sit down. Like no, that's not gonna happen. And so I'm just like, okay, whatever. And then he's like, oh yeah, I was just actually watching a show where these people got stuck in an elevator and like they finally got out, and then like of course this happens. And I'm like, dude, why did you have to say that? Like that's not gonna make me feel better. He's like, oh, this is no big deal. Like I'm not, like it's fine, it's really not. And in my head I'm like, oh my god, this is so scary. Like if I was alone in an elevator stuck, I would literally start hyperventilating, crying. I would not be okay. Oh my god. And after that experience, it was like my fear. I was like praying to God. I was like, God, please do not let me get stuck in an elevator ever again. Please. I would pray until I got to my floor. Oh my god. I hated being in elevators alone. Like it was terrible. Okay, so finally the person shows up and everything. But the thing is that like they show up maybe like 5 or 10 minutes in and stuff. At least that's what I remember from my memory. And the thing is we're stuck in between floors. So we were stuck in between the second and third floor. So like if you're stuck in between floors, so it's like if my camera, the video you're seeing right now is the elevator, basically it kind of looks like this. So like you're stuck in between floors. So you have to like, when they get you out, you have to literally like climb up. It's not like you can just walk straight onto like a floor, because we're stuck in between the second and third level. And so like they can't find us for like at least 10 minutes. And they didn't call a fire department or anything like that. They just had like, I don't know, like a service person that works for the school help us. And he's like most miserable. He's like, oh, this school sucks. This town sucks. And I'm just like, dude, really? And we're just like, oh, okay, yeah, this school totally sucks. We're like just trying to go along with him. And like the thing is because we were stuck in between floors, they had a hard time figuring that out. So they were like screaming. They were like, you're stuck in the elevator. Where are you? And like, so we have to yell and stuff and bang on the elevator just to get them to figure out where we are. And they're like, he's like, shit, you're stuck in between floors. Well, that's helpful. And I'm like, dude, it's not like we wanted to get stuck in an elevator in between floors. Like, what do you want me to do? He's just like, they're trying to find us. Probably took them like 10 minutes just to find where we were, how stuck we were, like if we were stuck in between floors, if we were stuck like at a certain level. It took them a while to figure that out. And then they're like, oh well, it's gonna take us a while to get you out. I'm like, great, it's the hottest day of the year, you're stuck in an elevator, it's mad hot. Yeah, this is definitely how I want to spend my day. And then eventually when he's like figuring out how to get us out and stuff like that, our RHD, which if you don't know, an RHD is the residence hall director. It's like basically the person that's in charge of the entire building and everything, and they're usually there to help and everything and stuff, and they have to kind of be there in this kind of situation. And so she's like, oh, it's RHD blah blah blah. I'm not gonna like name names just because I don't want to be like that. And she's like, who's in there? And we tell her, and she's like, who? Last names? And we tell her, and she's like, oh, okay. Like I don't think she knew who we were, but it was okay. She's like, is everyone okay in there? We're like, yeah. And she's like, oh, just so you know, like if they can't get you out, we'll call the fire department after an hour. And after she said that, I was like, an hour? Like, why don't you just call the fire department to start with? Like, they're trained for these types of situations. I watched Chicago Fire, I would know. I watched Station 19, I would know. Just call the fire department. Like, why isn't that your like first step? I feel like if this was a business, like they would have done that already. I don't know. Like, I'm sure they like want to use the people they have than having to like bother the fire department, but still, we're in there. I was like, no, why? And so she's like, oh, you won't be sitting in here all day. Like, we'll call the fire department after an hour. And I'm like, seriously? Are you kidding me? Ugh. It was one of those. And then eventually, I think after like a half an hour, the guy was able to get us out, and we had to like literally like he had to pull us up to get us out since we were stuck in between floors. Yeah, so we had to like throw our bags up and do that and all that kind of stuff. So we got onto the 3rd floor, and then we had to walk up 3 levels and stuff. And I remember like hearing people on the outside of the elevator like while we were in there. Like I remember when we were stuck at one point, I remember somebody banging on the elevator and them trying to use it, and they're like, oh, the elevator's broken. And I'm like, yeah, we're in here, why? And then I remember this guy, I don't know who it was to this day, but I remember this guy talking to Archie being like, I have milk in my fridge, and she's like, chill, like just don't take your milk out of your fridge, just leave your fridge closed and everything will be okay. And because the power was still out at that point, and then finally they got us out. Like I said, we basically climbed up, and then we walked up our floors and stuff, and everything turned out okay. But it was honestly the scariest experience that I've ever gone through personally. It was just nerve-wracking, and it was just scary, and it honestly haunts me to this day. I'm not even kidding you. Like you can't even like relate until like you've actually been stuck in an elevator. Also, I'm glad what happened on Chicago Fire episode, I think it was season 4 episode 3 or 2, I forget which one, where like the people get stuck in the elevator and they have to walk on the inside of the elevator through like this like thin board. And I'm like, if that happened to me, I would literally be dead. I could not do that. Like that's so nerve-wracking. I couldn't honestly. This was nerve-wracking enough. It was honestly terrifying, and to this day it haunts me in my dreams, in my life. I'm just like, please elevator work for me, because I can't deal with anything like that. Seriously, like honestly, when it's hot out, please no power outages, please. When it's hot out, I'm like, please no power outages and stuff. I'm just like, no. And I like taking the elevator, but also it's just like, no, please work elevator, because sometimes the elevators also make weird noises. Like it's kind of freaky. And yeah, that was my experience getting stuck in the elevator. Once we got to our floor, we both the guy was like, oh, it was nice to meet you, Katie, and I'm like, it's nice to meet you too. I kind of wish it was in better circumstances, but okay. And honestly, I would have rather been stuck in an elevator with somebody than, you know, just in there by myself. I would have been so terrified being there by myself, so I'm thankful that somebody was at least in there with me. And yeah, that was definitely an experience. It was definitely terrifying. It was one of those. So yeah, that was my story time and stuck in an elevator. Fun times, not really. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more story times, let me know down below. If I have a story, I have no problem telling it to you, because I love telling stories, like I said. And yeah, let me know if you've had any crazy elevator experience as well, or any stories you have for me. I'd love to hear about them, because you know, that's fun. And yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already, because I post videos every single week, and I'd love for you to be subscribed to my channel. And also the notification bell if you want to be notified. I know I don't say that all the time, but if you truly want to be notified to my videos, hit the notification bell down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day, night, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!